Hi folks, I'm Kevin and this is Real World Natural Living. So I finally have another garden video for you. I haven't planted the garden yet, but I'm getting ready to. And so if you've been following along with the channel, you know that we like to plant a garden and we like to produce as much food as we can. So today's video is about heirloom seeds and seed saving, or saving seeds to use for next year, and why heirloom and seed saving go together so well. So heirloom seeds at their most basic are seeds that have been saved from plants year after year and generation after generation. To be an heirloom seed, from what I understand, it has to have been saved for 50 years or longer. So a lot of heirloom seeds are even hundreds of years old, or they've been saved for hundreds of years. So even back to the 1700s and probably earlier as well. So basically for seed saving, you pretty much have to use an heirloom seed because today's hybrid seeds are made from different varieties of plants. It grows and it has characteristics from both of these plants, and sometimes that can be really good. But if you were to save that seed and you plant it, you don't know what you're gonna get. You're gonna get something most likely from one of the parent plants and not the other one. And so you can't have a true accurate representation of what you're gonna get from that seed. So that's the really cool thing about heirloom seeds, is that they've been saved from plants generation after generation. And so when you save the seeds, you take the seeds from the best plants, the best flavored plants, the ones that survive the best for your climate. And so that's why there's so many pros for heirloom seeds. They've grown well in perhaps a drought or perhaps a rainy season. They can also be more pest resistant. They've just survived better overall in the environment that they've been grown in. The other cool thing is, as you save seeds year after year, you get to pick the best ones for your specific environment. And then over the years, you can see things change and you get what really works for you. So when initially buying your heirloom seeds, I think it's kind of important to buy them from your local area if you can, because that way you know that they've been acclimatized to your environment. For instance, I got my seeds from Heritage Harvest Seeds. I can leave a link in the description, and they're in Manitoba and in Canada. So they leave notes on their website about how they grew last year, how they did, pros and cons. And that's a cool thing about heirloom seeds as well, is you can get them for different scenarios, kind of. Like, for instance, I got some carrots that are good for clay soils. Here in Manitoba, we tend to have soil that's higher on the clay side, so these carrots are good for that. So I just wanted to take a quick second to say that I hope you're enjoying the content. If you are, I hope you'll consider leaving me a comment down below or liking the video, subscribing to the channel, and if you'd like to support even further, you can do so for the price of a coffee using the Buy Me a Coffee link down below. Back to the video, thanks. So there are a couple of cons to heirlooms as well. One of them being that if it's an open pollinated plant, which means basically you need bees and insects to pollinate the plants. If you're growing different varieties of the same plant and those bees come from one and to the other, you do stand to have some cross-pollination. So in that scenario, you would have to plant the different varieties far enough away from each other where you're going to reduce the chance of cross-pollination. It can also be a thing where some of the heirloom plants don't store as well as their hybrid counterparts. But that's because the hybrids have taken the best of both worlds and put them together. Now you can do this over time with heirlooms, as you can try and pollinate one variety with another and kind of see what you get. But that does take quite a few years to reach that kind of thing, and you do have to have some knowledge, more than what I have. And one of the cool things about seed saving is that you can save money. You don't have to rebuy your seeds every year, and that cost can add up quite a bit. The other thing is that you get to take back control of some of your food. So one of the things I always say is that we've given up one of our most basic necessities of life, and that's control over our food. We just let others often big corporations provide us with food, and we don't know where it's coming from, what they're doing with it, and frankly, we all know they're doing some pretty funny things to some of our food. So something else that would be considered a pro for heirloom seeds is that some people insist that they're better for you than seeds you buy today. So because they're older seeds, let's face it, over the last 50 to 100 years, we've done a lot genetically to our seeds to try and get them to grow better and whatnot, but there may have been some side effects. Obviously, there's a lot of pesticides used as well, which isn't a good thing. So buying these older seeds predates some of that stuff. And I was watching a YouTube video called Let Thy Food Be Thy Medicine, and it was basically a seminar with a bunch of experts. But there was a woman on this video who had a lot of health issues, and she developed gardening skills and used these gardening skills to overcome some of her health issues. And I'll leave a link down below to the timestamp of where she's talking about. But so she had grown corn originally, and it didn't do good for her body. It wasn't good. So what she decided to do was try an older variety heirloom corn, and she did that, and she was able to eat it with no issues. So that is one of the things that can be considered a pro for sure. So that's heirloom seeds and seed saving, and why they go together and why I'm doing it. And I'm really excited about this year, and hopefully it's gonna go a lot better than last year. So that's the video. So if you found this helpful, you enjoyed the content, I hope you'll like the video. I hope you'll subscribe to the channel. And if you wanna support further, down below, you can buy me a coffee. And what that does is for the price of the coffee, you can help support the channel and what I'm doing here. I want you to remember the most important thing, folks. Take care of yourself. These are grown in Manitoba here in Canada. And so on the website, they leave little notes about how they did last year and what have you. And that's Poe flying around. And now he's on the camera. Perfect.